everybody. Welcome back. Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. Cannot get a hold of Coach Rankin. Cannot get a hold of Phillip. We move on and go over to East Tennessee to a hot team who is currently 5-1. The Cleveland Blue Raiders. Coach, you have beaten Ray County and Red Bank, and you're off this week and catch Bearden next Friday night. We bring to the show live Coach Chandler Tygard. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm good, Stork. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. You're doing really good. I was mentioning to Coach Creasy today that, and he said, I miss old Tygard. He isn't around. He's usually up to something, and I bet he's giving all those people over there in that region a lot of fun. So, but it's been a lot of fun to be a Cleveland Blue Raider here lately, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been fun. So we're tied for our best start, being 5-1. We've only done that one other time since 2016. So we're pretty happy right now. We got a region win, and then we're 5-1, headed into the bye week this week, and then we got the toughest 3-game stretch arguably in the state with Bearden. Then we host Maryville. Then we host number 1 Bradley Central in week 9. So we got a long way to go, but we're pretty thrilled with where we're at right now.
You like this gauntlet you getting ready to go through? Because they throw a lot of stuff at you, but if you take on Oakland and then catch a back-to-back or catch a region game prior to that, and then or take one after that, it creates a situation you've been through before.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what I've told people since I came here. I said Murfreesboro prepares you for this kind of region. I mean, you can argue which one's more difficult or, has more teams ranked in the top 10 or whatever. But either way, like when you're used to playing Oakland and Riverdale and Rockdale and Siegel and all those rivalries and just the intensity of every one of those games, and it really makes these not as much. I mean, like Fairgate's a great place to play. Bearden is going to have a lot of a Rutherford County vibe to it. They've got new LED lights, and they've got 150 people in the band, and that place was rocking. We went to the Bearden Farragut game last week and watched it in person, and we're going to the Maryville one Friday night. But, I mean, outside of that, though, it doesn't have the same, like, student section flair and the giant bands. And so, all my coaching staff, we've been kind of used to that gauntlet in Murfreesboro. So here it's just kind of, different teams but very similar type situations each week that you got to get used to. And then you mix in more of a like a rural type feel when you've got Ray County and McMinn County on your schedule, and those are just some kind of physical country teams that absolutely despise the city schools, and so you got a bunch of different kind of rivalries each week, and that part's kind of neat.
Yeah, I will agree with that. You get a different setting, pulling into a big acreage school that there's not a whole lot around it. Where you park your bus, and the school is all that's there. You're right. You get a different vibe from that when you. I grew up in a communities like that where everything was a county school. So if you played Ohio County, well, heck, Ohio County's 35 minutes down the road. You got to get in the bus and get on the
exactly.
And then you would travel. It was Hoosieristic and not so much, but it was there. But I definitely agree. So talk about going to Ray County. What was that like?
Yeah, so Ray County is exactly that. We were their homecoming. So actually we've been 2 homecomings, and we were Farragut's homecoming and won by 3 touchdowns. And we were Ray County's homecoming and had a running clock. And we're actually going to be Bearden's homecoming next week. So for whatever reason, I've told everybody, it kind of tells you where the state of our program was going into the season when you're every team's homecoming when you're coming to town. But Ray County is a tough place to play. They have a giant set of bleachers. They've got a big band, and the entire town shows up. There's not another school to even warm up close to it. I mean, it's out there kind of in the middle of nowhere, but they got a great little facility and nice turf field, and so that was obviously a big win. And then we had our homecoming this past week against Red Bank, which Red Bank traditionally, they're one of the few teams that have a winning record all time against Cleveland, because the Red Bank Cleveland rivalries back in the 90s and the 2000s were always big games when you had like Gerald Ricks Jr. playing for Red Bank in the early 2000s, and then you had the 90s Cleveland teams that won 54 straight games. And so that's kind of a big rivalry that's been going on, and Red Bank is ranked 7th in the state So to win, 51-7 was definitely unexpected, but a big win for us last Friday.
And you talk about that Ray County game and how it's done like that. That had to be a good experience for you to go to a place like that and just see the whole town kind of pouring in. I mean you do it here, but when you're in Murfreesboro, it's different from when you're you drive through town and then you get to the school and the stands are packed.
Oh yeah, 5A County School now. Rick. Ray County shows up, and they did their pregame or their homecoming festivities in pregame. I mean, so it took 45 minutes just to get through all the people that they were calling out and announcing, and their JROTC, and they've got like 227 members in the JROTC that they were calling out. I mean, so it was like a pregame extravaganza, and then on top of that, they're a big physical team. They run the wing tee and the power I. And, so we did a good job to actually get, we scored the first play of the game, and we started hot, and that helped us a lot, kind of quiet their crowd, and then we ended up having a big win.
So where are you now, Coach? I mean, you're at a 5-1. You're going into you're in your off week, and so what's kind of your schedule this week before you prepare for Beard? And what are you gonna? Are you letting them off all week, or are you bringing them in late? Or
No, so we did our normal Sunday practice, and then we practiced Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. Kind of just a similar, typical Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Red Bank canceled the JV game on us on Monday, so we got to go a little bit longer there. But I'm going to give them all Thursday, Friday, and we're not going to come in this Sunday because we didn't have a game. We kind of went through a deload in the weight room. It actually hit our week 8 periodization in the weight room perfectly. So we're going to do a little bit less there this week, and then we're already practicing for Bearden, and we're ranked 8th in the state. They're 9th. They've got multiple Division I prospects. They've got Jaheim Merriweather, the transfer running back from Gallatin that we played last year. Now he's at Bearden. They've got Lee Smith, his son. Lee played at Tennessee, played in the NFL. His son's a left tackle. They've got a sophomore running back with a bunch of SEC offers. They've got a sophomore 6'4" corner with a Tennessee offer. So, I mean, Bearden's absolutely loaded, so it's going to be one of the bigger challenges we've had this year.
Have you been to a game at Maryville?
I've been to Maryville, but I haven't been to a game yet until Friday. So Bearden plays at Maryville Friday, and so
that'll be a
me
good
and
game.
The whole staff and a lot of the players are going to go out. Yeah,
that'll be a good game for you to go
to.
Yeah,
that's going to be a great game. And then we actually host Maryville on fall break next week. So,
wow.
Cleveland beat Maryville last year and snapped the 20-year region game streak. And so Maryville's going to come down here with a big chip on their shoulder from last year's game. And, then after that, we go through Bearden, we go through Maryville, then we're playing our arch enemy that happens to be the number 1 team in the state with the number 1 player in the state. So go figure. It's a hard 3-game stretch.
Well, you're excited about it, and you know the map and the road. What currently scares you right now about this team's taking a step back and looking at them and just saying, guys, because pretty soon you're going to turn the keys over to them when you get in. If once you get into playoffs. But what do you like about this team, and what kind of scares you?
Yeah, I mean, since the Farragut week, we've been favorited in the last 2 games. But this next 3 weeks, we will definitely be the underdog all 3 weeks, and that's kind of how we were to start the season. Honestly, the Walker Valley game and losing to them saved our season, and it turned everything around because all the kids that started taking ownership in their mistakes, and they just showed a lot better leadership. It was very similar to how we lost week 1 last year when I was at Blackman against Brentwood. And the next thing you know, you're not taking anybody lightly. And so we went through these games this last stretch when we were the favorites and actually did our job. And, we had 3 big blowout wins. So the next thing is the 3 teams we've got next are, arguably some of the best teams in the state, and you're probably not going to blow them out. So we just need to fight for survival. We're fighting for playoff lives, and right now we're kind of sitting in the 4 spot. If you beat one, you're sitting in the 3. If you beat another, you're sitting in the 2. And if you can beat all of them, then you're probably going to win the region. So and it's going to be a tough challenge, but it's exciting. At least Cleveland's in it. I think going into the season, nobody expected us to be in it this long. So that's exciting.
Coach, we wish you the best of the luck, and have a great off week, and continue to prepare for Bearden.
Hey, thanks, Dork. Appreciate you, buddy. Tell everybody hello for me.
All righty, see you. Bye.